Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, a very good defense will be on the field. The Texans are top 10 in fewest points allowed, and they'll be up against a Colts offense that wants to prove it can do some damage.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? That's fielded in the end zone. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers? 1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss. Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
A first carry now for Paul Perkins. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Yeah, the defense definitely showing blitz here. Again, they go to Perkins. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. A shotgun snap for Luck. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Jadeveon Clowney in there for sack number 22 on the year. Just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. The Colts send out their punter as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Taken from just outside the 30. A great return there. Bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. And a great spot to start this drive from here.
Come on, let's go! Flex round!
Now a first down throw, Watson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Aldon Smith in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance.
That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
To throw on second is Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And nothing but daylight ahead. Past the 20, 10, 5. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we would be if it ended today, but we also know.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
Right, you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he?
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Mario Edwards in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
And for the 4th time tonight, they're going to take him down, and this time it gets him a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
A big hit. Knocked down sideways at the 46. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. This is Cohen on the toss, and that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Here's Watson. Over the middle, complete. It's Simmons, and they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. They run. This is Cohen. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
About 3 yards there to the 27.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Watson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Back to throw, Watson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. How about the big boy boys snagging one. You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
After the interception, it's long. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. And now out comes Houston. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Ten yards still left on second down.
Let's go! Ohio! 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 Ohio!
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up third down. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley in our EA Sports Halftime Report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. NFL teams last year a little under 50% on 4th down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. They are going for it. Here's Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Simmons. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it, having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here is Andrew Luck, the focus of our player spotlight. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points. And
some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. On 2nd and 10, Locke. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. A handoff to Perkins. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. The Colts send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken on the 25. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. Watson on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Now it's Locke. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts 1st down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. From the 50, it's Locke. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps. But they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the 2nd, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the 2nd quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
On 1st down, it's Watson going up top. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans will extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game, probably something they need to do more of here losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. On first down, Locke. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Luck now on second down. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
On second down, here's Locke. Open man is Amara Darboh, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number one. Third and long, it's Locke. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
Let's go! Ryan 38! Flex round!
The final shot before the break. Watson, he sets to fire. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And he will be out of bounds as time has run out on this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half.
And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And some room to work. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
In just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, and he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams.
Now Cohen. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And got his man complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his second touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep them in it.
Yeah, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and give him...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Tried to roll out and make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend the play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A good pickup there at 22. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Flex round! Flex round! Let's go! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. To throw is Watson. He finds Taylor, complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
First and goal from the 1 as they look to punch it in. They'll send one of those two tight ends in motion. Now a handoff here to his running back. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Colts pick it up. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
We can come up with a lot of different explanations here. None of them are going to work. At the 1-yard line and coughing it up, no way.
You got to protect that thing like it's your firstborn.
Your firstborn, your secondborn,
your
anyone. It doesn't matter. Take care of the football. You're in a position to go in and score. At worst, you've given up a chance to get 3 points.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back, right near midfield.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Here's Perkins on first down. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
To throw on 2nd down is Locke. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Throwing on 3rd down, Locke. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Up to make the play defensively, Tre'Davious White.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks at the 29. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Call it a 3-yard gain, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
4th and 2 is normally a passing down, but in this case, they decided to give it to their running back, and he did get the first down, although not by much.
Now Locke, complete to Hilton, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either. I
think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Lock on third down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Young. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On first down, it's Lock. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Luck now to throw. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
This is Cohen. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Here's Watson now on second down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sideline, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Out of the gun, Luck. And he's got his man. It's Darboh. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play. On 1st and 10, Luck. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Here's Luck. Throw left side, complete. It's Glover. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Again, Luck. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. And did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving. And the D looking like they may blitz. Luck throwing again. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Give him 8 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Luck. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And Parkey's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So we're back to a 1-score game, and now you figure we'll likely see an onside kick.
Yeah, they've only got the 1 timeout remaining, so I think they've got to take a chance at getting the ball back.
And this will be recovered by the Texans. So victory appears to be in sight, and that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here we go.
And Watson's going to throw it here. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Come on, let's round. Let's round.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Come on, Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Let's go! Flex round! What? Nothing! What? Nothing! Ohio! Let's go! Grand 38! Ohio! Ohio!
They will indeed snap it to Watson. Over the middle, complete. That's Charles. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Here we go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Ohio! Let's go! What? Nothing! What? Nothing!
Throwing now, Watson. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5. That's a whale of a game. Now it's Watson. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Houston, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. They will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Colts, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.